Hey everyone, my name is Hecthor Doomhammer and welcome to the vlog of Friday, February 13th, 2015. Ooh, Friday the 13th. Now in this vlog I'm going to be talking about what happened ever since I posted the last vlog and what is going to happen until I'm posting the next vlog, which should be next Friday. So, here we go. Starting off with Wednesday, there's really a lot that can be said about it, but I'll keep it at this. I was embarrassed by the behavior of the chat lobby in Mental Omega. I was supposed to have a casual Mental Omega stream like I do always on Wednesday. Just 2 hours of me spectating matches, even playing a match or two if I feel like it. But when I came into the lobby, my jaw dropped. I saw people impersonating others. I saw people insulting each other. And I know who those people are that were doing this, and it just makes my blood boil. And I sat there for half an hour with the stream on, and people in the chat on my channel were just getting impatient, saying like, just ignore these people and like start a game. But the one game that I did, one of those impersonators decided to join in, and he wanted to have all the screen time in the world. So the next game that I hosted, he jumped in again, and I kicked him out, he jumped in again, etc, etc, etc. Now, this pisses me off because of course I am a person that really likes variety, that likes to display variety, except when I play. And I want to have a lot of people in the lobby and a lot of potential matches that are unique, that you'll never see like two people or one person in two matches in one stream. That's why I personally have the rule: if you have played a match already, you're gonna have to not play in my matches again, unless of course I say so. Well, after about half an hour, even with Shadowy on Skype talking about stuff, I decided enough was enough. Originally I said, guys, you host the games, you open up Observer, I'll jump in, I'll spectate, and that's going to be the stream. But unfortunately for you, my blood was boiling so much that I decided against it, and I did some Burnout Paradise multiplayer with Shadowy, and later I was joined by Seraphinix and by Medics and Dutchy Gamer, and we had a blast. It was the perfect solution for a horrible beginning of the evening. Now, I want to talk about why this pisses me off so much. It's because the way that I see things, and you may be seeing things completely different, is that my streams of Mental Omega, and in the future when the public version of Rise of the Reds is coming out, the way the chat behaves is also something that the viewers are going to see, especially now that I stopped editing my streams into proper videos where you won't see those things. The way that people see things, the way that I see things, is that potential players can be watching my videos or my streams at any given time. And if they see the chat behave the way that it behaved last Wednesday, they're just going to be thinking like, wow, originally I kind of wanted to play this game, I wanted to jump into the multiplayer, but seeing the lobby behave like this, being this toxic, well, forget it, I'm out. And thus we're missing out on potential new players. And that is why this pisses me off so much. Because the more players we have, the more fun we can have, and the more matches I can stream. And I might even have decided to stream it on other days as well. But now, I've decided to up the stakes, up the requirements, to a bare minimum of 18 players in the lobby 5 minutes before I start streaming. And of course, proper behavior of the chat. Now, if there are enough players in the chat, but the chat isn't behaving well, then I'm not going to stream it, of course. And even if the chat is behaving well in the lobby, but there are like 11 people, then sorry, not doing it. It's my stream, I decide what I do, not you. And if with that I have to disappoint you, so be it. On Thursday, from what I remember, I just did some solo playthrough of Burnout Paradise, unlocking a couple of new cars, getting distracted left and right by those vehicles that I had to crash into in order to add them to my collection. And I got a decent way into upgrading my license. Now of course I'm having a ton of fun in that game, crashing into anything and everything. Vasily unfortunately didn't keep a counter of how many times I crashed, but it wouldn't surprise me that it was close to the 69 of the last time. On Friday, I gave Mental Omega another chance. I didn't advertise it on the Mental Omega Players group on Facebook because I left that group. I decided against advertising it on any of the forums that I usually advertise my Mental Omega and Rise of the Reds and such streams, just to see how many players we would have without the advertisement and how many viewers I would have without the advertisement. But my plan was to do a 2-hour Mental Omega stream without song request and then a 2-hour Mental Omega stream with song request. And despite the fact that there weren't that many players online, we still had this stream that I wanted, and I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful that the chat was behaving properly. I'm grateful for the fact that the players were not being douchebags, and I'm grateful for the fact that we could have a 4-hour stream because I really like those streams with song requests. And I hope that in the future that we can just continue this trend. Now on Saturday, I streamed a little earlier than I would usually on Saturday. It's because my aunt celebrated her 50th birthday and I kind of wanted to attend that birthday, so I went and I decided to start my stream at around 2 PM GMT. Now, unfortunately, my original plan was to stream about 1.5 hours of Mental Omega and then about 1.5 hours of Burnout Paradise multiplayer, and at 1 PM GMT I jumped into the Mental Omega lobby because there were plenty of people online, and I started advertising my stream there saying like, guys, in an hour I'm gonna need players for like 1 versus 1s, maybe we'll do some 2 versus 2, even maybe a 3 versus 3, who knows. And then it was time for me to start the stream, but I have experience with the Saturdays for Mental Omega when I wanted to stream it in the past or even record some matches in the past. It was pretty impossible because those players apparently don't seem to care about it, and if I can't get players in my games, then it's gonna take a while, and I don't want to be sitting there in the lobby waiting for a game to start because I don't have enough players, or players just don't simply give a crap. So I decided to wait until I had 2 players in my game and I would see all of the stars that they were ready, and only then I would start my stream. But after about half an hour I was like, you know, this may take forever, and I do want to continue this, I do want to stream something, so I called Dutchy Gamer and we were just going to play some tag in Burnout Paradise online, later joined by medics, and all in all, despite the fact that there was only 3 people, we were still having a blast. And I filled about 2 hours worth of that. Now Sunday was just like any other Sunday, 2 PM GMT, Rise of the Reds, and the Hunter joined me. Now the only other way it could be is that I start an hour later at 3 PM GMT and that Cromwell Crimson or Banisher of Hope or Lewis joins me as co-commentator to our regular stream of Rise of the Reds. Unfortunately we had a crap ton of mismatches. I think we only had like 1 or 2 really successful games, and even when Cromwell Crimson did join us as co-commentator just because of someone felt violated, I remember, in the chat, and Crimson read that and said like, oh well, if he really wants to be feel violated, then I should jump in. I was like, sure, I'll do that. We tried to spectate the match, all 3 of us, me, Cromwell Crimson and the Hunter, but the stage really doesn't like that, so oh well, maybe not. Now here comes the good part. Monday, I started my campaign playthrough of Grey Goo, the new RTS by Petroglyph. It's gonna be a bit spoiler heavy, so I'll put a call out right over here or somewhere saying that you can unmute it, because if you don't want to be spoiled, you might want to mute this part. And it'll probably go into the next section as well. So, mute, go. You start out as the beta race, and you fight the humans for the first 3 missions, and on Monday I managed to complete the first 3 missions of that campaign. The first 2 missions, they gave me a little bit of a hard time, but I managed to beat them both in one go, and the 3rd mission took me a couple of tries, and that led the stream to be a 3-hour stream instead of a 2-hour stream. Again, spoilers, so mute if you don't want. On Tuesday, oh boy, what a nightmare. In mission 4 of the beta campaign, it's the first mission. You're gonna fight the goo, and they're throwing everything except the kitchen sink at you. And with the kitchen sink, I mean they're epic. They're throwing everything they have at you except they're epic. And I spent 1.5 hours completely failing that mission over and over and over again, to a point where I was able to survive until the countdown ended, and I still lost the mission. And at that point, even on easy, I switched from normal to easy. At that point, I was just like done. I was pissed off, I was frustrated, rage quit, and I decided to end the mission. We're now a week further ahead. The second Wednesday, last Wednesday, I posted on my Facebook page that I was wanting to do a Mental Omega stream if we could get enough players. I didn't announce how many, and if the chat would behave. And if not, at 5 minutes before I would start up a solo playthrough again of Burnout Paradise, and that's exactly what happened. At 5 minutes before I went live, there were only 11 people online. 11 is less than 18, and thus I started up Burnout Paradise, and I actually got my A license. I unlocked a couple of new vehicles, maybe one, maybe two. I got my A license, and I held my butt cheeks together because I was scared as a flip for those marked men. They are hard as balls, but fun. It's a real challenge. So with the next license upgrade, I'm gonna have to have 40 wins, and that means that all of the races, at least, and the takedowns, road rages, marked men, stunt runs, they're all reset. I don't know about the burning routes for all of the vehicles. I'll see that later, I guess, whenever I decide to play that again. And yeah, that'll be for next time. Spoiler heavy, so call out here. If you don't want to listen because of what I'm about to say about Grey Goo, mute. Whenever this disappears, unmute. So on Thursday I decided that I would attempt the 4th mission of the beta campaign in Grey Goo yet again. And my god, I beat it. It was hard as balls. I had a couple of failed attempts, but eventually I beat it. And because I beat it, originally I didn't want to upload the failed attempt of last Tuesday, but what I decided to do was to upload it anyway, but have it as unlisted, so it wouldn't appear in you guys' subscription lists. What I also did was uploaded the successful attempt with the 2 failed attempts of the day itself, and put an annotation at the top of the video that leads, if you click on it, to that failed recording. Now, my PC shared my excitement, and it was so excited it couldn't handle it anymore. So when I was loading the 5th mission, the game crashed, and then OBS crashed, and then Keyboard crashed, which is the program I use for my notifications, and then my browser crashed. The only thing that didn't crash, oh yeah, Skype as well, and the only thing that didn't crash was TeamSpeak. Surprise, surprise. So I restarted my PC, tried it again, game still didn't want to work, and then I decided to give it one final go because it was already getting close to the 2-hour mark since I started streaming that evening. And I decided to only start streaming whenever I would be actually in the mission. That was possible. Mission loaded before I started streaming. I was in the mission, started streaming, and then I got my ass handed to me on a silver platter. My goodness. It wouldn't surprise me to see that the goo will in fact throw the kitchen sink, also known as their epic, at me this time. I failed. Only twice. But what I plan to do, since tonight, but that'll be for the next section. I plan to do attempt it again. And that brings us to tonight. What am I doing tonight? Another Mental Omega stream? No. At least I'm gonna start out with the another attempt at beta mission 5 of Grey Goo. Now what I'm gonna be doing is I'm giving myself 2 hours starting at 7 PM GMT. 2 hours to complete that mission, because it will be the last mission of the campaign for the beta, and after that it will be the humans. So I'm gonna give myself 2 hours, and given that I beat it or not, if it's like a little over 2 hours and that was my last attempt, I'll stop streaming then, and I'll see how many players there are online on Mental Omega, and if I can get people to behave, and if I can do a 2-ish hour stream of Mental Omega with song requests. If not, I'll see if the guys are available for another session of Burnout Paradise, but that will be done without song requests, because I do want to upload those videos to YouTube. Now what happens if I am able to beat that mission even sooner than 2 hours? Well, it's going to be the end of the Grey Goo stream, and then we'll see if I can get that Mental Omega stream done, or Burnout Paradise for a little longer. And that brings us to tomorrow. Now, for those that remember, what I said in the last vlog was that last Saturday I wanted to do my birthday special, my belated birthday special. Unfortunately, my aunt celebrated her birthday and I was invited. I wanted to attend to it. So what I'm going to be doing is do my belated birthday tomorrow at February 14th, aka Valentine's Day. And this image over here is going to be the promo pic. And I will be doing, I'll see if I can get a Mental Omega stream done. I'll see if I can get a Rise of the Red stream done. I'll definitely do some solo work in Burnout Paradise. And I want to start it at 12 PM GMT or 1 PM GMT, given when I wake up and have breakfast / lunch. Now I'm going to be streaming until 6 PM GMT, and then I'm going to eat dinner. I'm going to stop the stream so that you won't have to hear me stuff my face. You can go eat, you can go take a break, take a shower, take a poop, whatever. And at 7 PM GMT I'm going to restart my stream, and what I plan to do is some Burnout Paradise multiplayer, later some Counter-Strike Global Offense multiplayer. I have literally 0 experience with Counter-Strike Global Offense, besides what I've seen. Although I do have some minor experience in the original Counter-Strike, that was like eons ago. But it should count for something. I'm gonna do those with a couple of streamers that I know, maybe a couple of viewers. And after that, I'm gonna do with a couple of other streamers a game of Cards Against Humanity. Now, Cards Against Humanity is a card game that will be done on the browser. And if you are even slightly offended by anything, and I mean racism, sexism, religious jokes, please do keep in mind, first of all, it is just a game and nothing is to be taken serious. Then I suggest you just don't watch that last stream, because I'm not taking things seriously. I just want to do this for fun, and I'm gonna get a couple of other live streamers in, and it's supposed to be just a crap ton of fun, and maybe I get to do a stream of Cards Against Humanity in the future with you guys. I'd be looking forward to that. And of course, sorry, I almost forgot, I'm gonna be stopping that stream around midnight GMT, given on when the game that we are currently playing ends. On Sunday, it is going to be a usual Sunday for me. 2 PM GMT, Rise of the Reds, joined by the Hunter. And we'll see whatever happens. If the game decides that it's going to let us have some fun, or if Sage is going to be a D-bag again and says like, nope. Now, Monday and Tuesday, I will be doing the continuation of the Grey Goo campaign. Hopefully I'll be doing the human campaign. If not, I will be doing the 5th mission of the beta campaign. On Wednesday, I'll try to do another Mental Omega stream. Of course, with my higher requirements, it may not happen. So I'm not going to give you any promises. But if I'm not going to do Mental Omega, I will be doing some solo play in Burnout Paradise, trying to get my license up a notch or two. On Thursday, it'll be Grey Goo again. And on Friday, that'll be for the next vlog. Now I also have some other news. Involving News. News is the guy, by the way, who made that hammer for Attack Superior, and also 120 frames for this pentagram. And I say 120 frames because if you put them all side by side and you let them play like in a movie, you'll see that it rotates 180 degrees. And if you let it keep playing, it'll be like a full circle. I've used that for my 666 follower special that was animated thanks to Mr. Proud to be Sims, or just Proud to be Sims. But News recently came into my chat during a Mental Omega stream, and all of a sudden he was like, "Hey dude, I kind of feel like making a variant of the Psychic Dominator Blast, and instead of having Yuri's face on it, I'm gonna put your face on it." And when I saw that, at first I was like, "Nah, you're not doing that. Not gonna happen. I don't want that." Until someone else in the chat, and I unfortunately don't remember who it was, but if you're watching this, you probably know that it's you. That person suddenly said, "Be one with Doomy." And all of a sudden, 1 + 1 = 42 in my head. And I was like, hey, I can do something with that. And so I started talking to News, and I recorded my voice, just saying "Be one with Doomy." I sent it over to Sayores of the Rise of the Red Team's voice actor, lead voice actor. He made a slight edit to it. Later I sent it over to News. He made another slight edit to it. And the current work in progress looks something a little bit like this.
Be one with Doomy.
Also, thanks to Mr. Sheriff Phoenix, I was able to implement that into my T-board. T-board uses HTML for the notifications, and I know jack shit about it. I've watched about 15 tutorials of it and I still screw it up. So luckily there's Sheriff Phoenix, and he altered my my notification message and pop-up for the new followers with the new work in progress thing that News is making. But also we created, thanks to his help, so not all news is bad news, and I can't wait until the final version of the Psychic Doominator, yes, we'll call it Doominator, is done. But until then, I will be using the work in progress version. So if you haven't followed my Twitch yet, then go do that when I'm streaming, so that you get to see the animation and sound, because that is way more awesome. Also, I'm gonna close things off here, so best way to keep in touch with me and keep updated in what I'm doing is to follow my Facebook page. Link is below in the video description. Also my Twitch page, of course, for whenever I go live, because I am primarily a live streamer. My YouTube page, well, you're watching it right now, but if you haven't subscribed yet, then hit that subscribe button. I will be uploading as many of the streams that I do as possible, except for those with song requests or music that I know is copywritten. And of course my Twitter, link is also below in the video description. And if I can remember it this time, add the link to my Steam group in the movie description. Everything will be down below there. My name is Hecthor Doomhammer, and I will see you next time.